It doesn't matter how smart you are, you don't know everything. Hey guys, it's me again, Douglas, and I don't know about you, but sometimes I have a hard time following instructions. I don't always want to do things exactly the way I'm told to do them, and sometimes I don't even like to look at the instructions at all. Like, if I get some Legos or something, I like to build what's on the box, but I try to build it without looking at the instructions, see if I can do it, kind of like a puzzle or something. Or if, pretty much anything, I try to not follow the instructions if I can. If the teacher says you gotta do this, I do that thing. But if I can get away with it, I usually try to do things my own way. And that might work out sometimes, but it is definitely a better idea to follow the instructions. And man, if we're talking about instructions from God, yeah, you should follow that every single time. But yeah, there was this one time where my friend, he was going to have this gigantic, epic water fight. So he invited all the kids from all over the neighborhood, and we were going to have this giant, big party, and everybody was supposed to bring their water guns. And his mom sent out a list to all of the families, of things that they were supposed to bring, stuff that we were supposed to bring to this big old water fight. And, I kind of looked at the list, and the list said, bring all these things, but I was like, I don't really need to bring all those things, right? And so, yeah, like the water gun, I brought my water gun, and I brought my swim trunks and everything like that, but on the list was goggles. And I was like, I don't really need goggles because, it's just a water fight. We're just going to be squirting each other with these water guns. And if the water gets in your eyes, it's not that big a deal. And I knew they were going to have a slip and slide and stuff too. And I was like, I'll just close my eyes on the slip and slide. So we get to this party and, oh man, it was so much fun. We were, squirting each other and we were going on this big old slip and slide. And he had this, this like inflatable pool thing that he brought out. And it was this big fun party this summer. And it was so much fun. But one of the things that they did at this party, at this big old water fight, was they got a whole bunch of cans of shaving cream, right? And so it was a big old shaving cream fight too. So it's the water guns and the shaving cream. It's this huge big mess, and it was super fun. And so I'm running around with the water gun, and I'm spraying my friends, and they're spraying me, and we get the shaving cream, and we're splattering it on each other, and everything was really fun and really fine until one of my friends, he snuck up behind me, and he yells, "Sneak attack!" And he goes, "Pfft," and splatters my face with a big old blob of shaving cream. And it got right up in my face and in my ungoggled eyes. I'm a pretty good sport. If somebody gets me with a shaving cream, it's all in good fun. But the second that shaving cream touched my eyes, I was just like, "Ah!" Oh, because it hurt so bad. My eyes were burning. It felt like my eyes were on fire. And so I'm like running around and I can't see because they burn so bad. And I'm trying to, get this stuff off of my face. And I'm running around and I can kind of just barely see. And I finally go and I find the pool. And I just take my head and I go, dunk, 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 dunk down into the water. And my eyes were like so red and they hurt so bad. And everybody was just like staring at me because everybody's, having fun. But then all of a sudden I'm just screaming like a crazy person. And, in the instructions for the party, they said, bring goggles. But I didn't realize that, we were going to have a shaving cream fight. Or I didn't also realize that shaving cream hurts your eyes so bad. If I had known that, I definitely would have brought the goggles. But that's kind of beyond the point, right? They knew that shaving cream burns your eyes, and they said, bring goggles. And so instead of just trying to do my own thing, trying to go my own way, I should have trusted them. They told me to bring goggles because they knew what would happen. So I should have obeyed. I should have followed those instructions. And I feel like that happens with us and God all the time. God gives us these instructions, and we're like, yeah, I'll follow the instructions that make sense to me. But if I don't totally get the whole reason for following the instructions, I'm not going to follow them. That's a bad idea. Because God sees stuff that we don't. God sees the much bigger picture. And so if he tells you to do something, you should do it. Don't just pick and choose the stuff that makes sense to you. If God says do it, do it. If God says don't do it, don't do it. Because God sees the bigger picture. God knows everything that's going on. And so if he gives instructions, it's from the perspective of someone who knows everything. And our parents and our teachers, they're not God, but they also have a bigger perspective than we do. If our parents tell us to do something, we should do it. Because they've got a bigger perspective. They know more than we do, like it or not. And so that's my challenge to you guys today, is that you would follow the instructions, that you would obey God and your parents and your teachers and really anybody who gives you instructions, that you would follow those instructions. Because even if you're super smart or super clever or whatever, you still don't know everything. And when people give us instructions, especially when God gives us instructions, It's not for us to pick and choose which ones we like and which ones we don't like, which ones we think are important, which ones we think aren't important. It's our job to obey. And if you follow God's instructions to the letter, not just picking and choosing the ones that you like and don't like, but just faithfully following God and obeying his instructions, I promise that your life will go much, much better. Because if God knows everything, which he does, it is a very, very good idea to follow his instructions. Hey guys, I hope you liked this video. And hey, did you know that making these videos is my full-time job? Yeah, well, okay, not actually my full-time job. There's this guy named JJ who helps me quite a lot to make these videos. Actually a whole lot. He helps me make these videos, and it's his whole job just to make these videos and to run my website and all that other stuff that goes along with this ministry of Douglas Talks. And he's only able to do this through the generosity of people like you. So if you would like to help support my ministry, you can go to patreon.com/DouglasTalks and support us there. You can see the people with their names over here. They're scrolling up. Those are people that help us by sending us monthly support. And if you'd like to see your name over there or even your picture, then you should totally check it out. Patreon.com/DouglasTalks, and you can learn all kinds of information about how you can support my ministry. Thank you guys so much. You are the best. God bless.